Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm a beauty editor here at InStyle, and I'm here today with celebrity hairstylist David Lopez.
Hi,
and
guys.
we're going to be giving you the lowdown all about hair extensions. So,
My magic trick.
yes.
Hair extensions are the magic trick to what I do, and I'm so excited I get to talk about it today because I get so many questions about how did you do that hair, or how did
Right.
that celebrity get that style. I'm like, the secret is in the hair extensions.
Exactly. And I feel like for a lot of women, they feel like, oh, I can't ever look like that when they see like a picture.
Right.
Listen, even most celebrities use hair extensions, am I right?
All the time. I don't do anything without using hair extensions at pretty much at this point. Not only just for length, I think typically we think of
Right.
hair extensions for length and drama, but really now it's just for fullness.
Yeah, and just adds like that thickness that
Exactly.
everyone wants to have.
Yeah, exactly.
So first of all, if you have questions like just in general, how do you pick out the right extensions? Because you might not have your own personal celebrity hairstylist.
I can come to you, it's fine. You can go on my Facebook, my Instagram, like find me.
He'll answer your questions.
I'll come to you, I'll answer your questions.
But for example, if someone is looking and they want to have like that fuller, thicker sort of
Right.
look, or just even if they want to add some length, what should they be looking for when they go to the store?
So when you're gonna go invest in clip-in hair extensions, it's important to remember that especially with clip-in hair extensions, you get what you pay for.
Right.
So the higher price things are generally gonna be better quality.
Right.
So I wanna show you, I have a couple different brands here that I really love that I work with all the time, and I wanted to kind of show you what I look for. So the first thing we'll talk about clip-ins. So I have a set of clip-ins here, they're from Beautyworks, one of my favorite brands, Beautyworks online. So what you wanna see here is that the hair is really thick.
Yeah.
So you can see just how from top to bottom it's really thick. If you see some other hair extensions at the bottom, it gets really thin and it's like scraggly, you have to cut the extensions. Basically, you don't want that. You want to make sure that they're very thick and that they're nice and healthy and shiny, just like this.
And not overly shiny, because sometimes you can see like those synthetic pieces where they look so over the top shiny and they don't match the rest of your hair.
Right.
I think it's really important that you look at like your hair and see if it's as shiny or similar texture to what the hair extension is.
Well, on that note, I will say when you first buy your clip-in hair extensions, because there is a layer of silicone on almost all hair extensions that are human hair, what you want to do is maybe get a little bit of dry shampoo and just spray it into the body of the hair.
Awesome.
So that way it takes away that little bit of shine, because not everyone's hair is this glamorously shiny, even though you would love it to be.
Though I want it to be.
It's not going to be this shiny. Some people it matches right away, and that's fine.
Right.
But if you feel like it's a little too shiny, just take some dry shampoo and spray it right into the interior of the hair.
Perfect.
And you'll get that little shine out.
Awesome. And so when you're looking for hair at the store and you're trying to color match, what are some things that you should be keeping in mind?
So you definitely want to color match. It is possible to color your extensions. It's possible to go to your stylist and get a pair of extensions, a set of extensions, and have them color match. But with today's technology and hair extensions, you can find your shade. So for example, like this is just a one solid shade here, which most people don't have one solid shade of hair. They have a mixture of shades. But if you go and look at something like this would match your hair. If you can see that this actually, there's a couple of different shades in here, so it's gonna match a little bit better. And you also wanna get a color chart. So again, in the Beautyworks collection that I'm looking at, there's actually something like this that is a shade chart.
Wow.
So we can see that. So this has all the shades. So you're able to really color match your hair. And that's what's the most important, because girls, if I swear, if I go out there and I see your extensions with like, you have your ashy blonde hair and these golden ends just sticking out, I'm like, girl,
that doesn't work.
You can do better than that. There's color matching techniques. So something like this. So if you're gonna go buy clip-in hair extensions, which a lot of times you can go online and buy them, what I would suggest to do, if you can, email them and just say, hey, I'm interested in this set. Do you have a sample of the hair, a swatch, a color ring that I can get to my house and I can match it? Because you are investing in hair. It's an investment. It's usually around $200, like a nice set of clip-in hair extensions. You're going to have them for a long time, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, and I think you really want to make sure that you're holding it up to your own hair.
Right, exactly.
Because, I mean, the whole point of hair extensions is that they have to blend in. If everyone can tell that you're wearing them, then you're not really fooling anybody.
No, you're not fooling anyone, especially not me. If I see you on the street, I definitely know. And I'll call you out. And I'm like, I'll just gently tap you on the shoulder and say, I can tell you're wearing extensions. Okay, so what you want to do is try to match it to the ends of your hair. So with Cheryl here, I can tell that maybe this would match, especially because she has the shorter hair. She does have the highlights in here. I could find something that does have an ombre effect in the extensions, but what I'm looking for here is I just want to make sure all the shades are there. My lovely model. I love, oh, look at your beautiful face. So yeah, you want to make sure that you have that matched out.
Okay.
Match it to the ends. And again, you can see in this one piece here, you see how nice and thick it is from the top all the way to the bottom? You want to make sure that that's what it looks like.
Yes, no skinniness at the bottom
If it gets skinny from here down, it's not worth it.
Okay.
Then don't get it.
And now when it comes to actually putting them in, what are your techniques? Because I think one of the biggest problems is that, you know, people put them in and then they're falling out or they're sliding after a few hours.
I've seen your weaves on the street before, ladies. I've seen them falling out at the bar and I'm like, that is not a cute look.
Yeah, so how do you, like, if you're out for a long night of dancing, because, you know, when are you usually going to put them in? For special occasions like weddings or for a night out? How do you get them to stay? Like, what are your techniques?
Okay, perfect. So generally what I would suggest is either using a teasing brush or a tail comb like this.
Okay.
So this is from Olivia Garden. It's a teasing brush. You can actually fold it. It's really nice. You can throw it in your bag. And then this is from YS Park. Let me see if I can hold it up against my shirt so you can actually see a little bit better. Against the hair. There we go. So now you can see this comb. So something like this, and you're going to use that to tease your section. So the biggest thing, because I actually taught someone before how to put in their hair extensions, and then the next day they came to set, and the extensions, I swear, were sitting on top of their head like this. And I'm like, oh, come on, did you not learn anything yesterday? Okay, so what I want to show you is you want to make nice, clean, neat sections. And I'll turn you so we can see, so everyone can see. Now, this is just a simulation, but what you want to make sure is you have a nice clean section. Now, when you're in that section, you're going to either use your teasing brush or you're going to use your tail comb. And what you want to do is get a nice light tease at the base. Just 1, 2, 3. That's all you need to do, just to get a little bit of grit in there.
Right, and it just allows extensions teeth to clip in, to grip into the hair.
It has something to stick to. So then what I like to use is something like a Stronghold hairspray. To even further enhance that, because you want to make sure that those aren't going anywhere. Sorry, I just...
That's okay.
Live, Facebook Live, you guys. Spray her face.
This is what happens.
This is what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of hairspray. Don't spray it on your own face. And then we're going to take our piece, and you want to open the clips, just like this. I don't know if we can get... This is what the clips look like. Okay, so this is actually what's called Invisiclip. You see how it's really nice and flat. It doesn't look like something like this. So a lot of times you'll see extensions that look like this too. And this is what's called a weft right here. So you see something like this or something like this. If you can really see the difference. This looks a little more natural. It's a little more seamless. So that's why I really like it. They're a little more expensive and you don't necessarily have to get them, but this is what I like to use.
Awesome. And guys, if you have any questions about clip-in extensions or even permanent extensions, please feel free to ask questions. Leave comments below. I think we might have one.
Do we have any questions?
Let's see. So Gretchen wants to know, how long do extensions last? I think this is going to depend on what type of extensions you get.
So, well, I just clipped in this piece just so you guys can see why I like the seamless one. So it's really nice and flat into her head, just like that. So it looks really crazy, but when you put her hair on top of it, it's just going to blend seamlessly. And then what I would do is I would actually cut this to her own hair length, just really for Cheryl, what I think Cheryl really wants, if I can speak for you, is just a little more fullness, because I like her shorter hair, because everyone's getting that shorter hair now, and you just want it to be a little fuller and have a little more life. So that's what that looks like there. Now, extensions, if you buy really good ones, you're going to... It depends on how often you wear them, because I have extensions that I've had with me in my kit for 5 years, and they're still holding up. But it's all about how you take care of them, because it's just as important.
It's so much about the care.
Well, remember this. This hair is not attached to your head anymore, but it's human hair. So it's still going to need all of the care that your hair would need. It still needs the conditioner. It still needs to get the moisture. It still has to get the protein. You want to take care of it just as well. So this is a semi-permanent hair extension line. So this is from Glam Seamless, and these are tape-in hair extensions. This is probably the most popular hair extension method right now with celebrities. Almost all my celebrity clients have some form of tape-in hair extensions. So as you can see,
tape-ins can last like for a couple of months.
So this is 8 to 10 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes 10 weeks. And you can see the color too, how this is really nicely blended, where this would actually fit your hair very nicely because it is blended here. But when you take care of them, think about this hair. you need to give it that moisture. So you do have to wash them, especially if it's your clip-ins. I'd recommend every 3 to 6 months washing them.
Okay.
With a sulfate-free shampoo. And you want to get a really good conditioner. So I'm using, like for my extensions, I always use my Shea Moisture shampoo just because it's sulfate-free, super gentle, and then you condition it. With proper hair care, it's going to last you a couple years.
Okay.
That's why I say invest in it.
That's why you should get something that really looks real, because you can at least get a couple years wear out of it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that was that question.
Great. And then if you have something like just like clip-ins, I know like the tape-in extensions, they last for 8 to 10 weeks.
Right.
If you're doing something like a bonded extension, that can like a great lengths or something like that, that can usually last up to 3 months.
Right, exactly. But you want to make sure that when you get something like when you get something semi-permanent, like tape-in hair extensions like this, that you go to someone that's really qualified to do it. Because a lot of times you might have an experience with semi-permanent hair extensions and you're like, my hair fell out, I got breakage, or they didn't last that long. That's because they weren't applied properly and the hair wasn't good quality. So I do want to talk about, can we talk about quality and what the different things are? Okay.
I think that's really important because I think that there's a lot of really bad hair extensions on the market. And I feel like that is...
There are. The sadness
that is sad and sadly, like the whole point is that it should look very seamless and no one should be able to tell that you have them in.
Right. So you're going to see things like words like Remy, like this, okay? Now, the word Remy, what that means is that when the hair is sourced, they kept the cuticles of the hair facing the entire same direction.
Okay.
That means when you go into the ocean, you go into the pool, you wash your hair, that hair is not going to turn into dreads. Have you ever seen, I mean, if you have had hair extensions and you're watching this, I want you to type in.
Like it won't get super tangled.
Right. They get really tangled. That means the cuticles aren't facing the same way. So something like Remy, you want to make sure you see that. Now, when you also see virgin, there is no real true virgin hair in the sense that all the hair has to get processed in some way.
Okay.
So really what virgin is meaning is that the hair is as least processed as possible.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's also a big one because when the hair's not as processed as possible, it's going to last much longer.
Right.
And that's what you really want.
And it's going to look much better.
And it looks like your hair. Now let's talk about this baby child.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So that's like a full piece.
Right. So let me brush her out.
I think that's part of it. I think you want to make sure you really brush your extensions
Brush your extensions, you guys.
so often if you're going out and they're tangled, well, that doesn't really work.
Yeah. It feels really weird doing this because I feel like this hair is the secret to almost everything. Like, I'm thinking about this hair has been on stages, this hair's been on magazine covers. I'm like, if you guys only knew.
It's been on tour.
It's been on tour. Really, it's been on planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm like giving away, it's like holding someone's underwear up. It's like the private, life of hair. So what I'm holding here is a one-piece unit. So they come by different names, volumizers, fillers. So it's basically just one piece of hair. If you're looking for just a sense of fullness, one piece, and it just clips in. So I'm going to turn you around so we can see. Let's spin you around. Amazing. So something like this would just attach to here, and then your hair would go on top of it. So what you would do...
So you get a whole lot more thickness and body in the hair.
Right. So what I could do, if Cheryl wanted to, she could get this piece, we would put it in and cut it to her length, and then that way she just has one piece to put in every day if she wanted to. I have to shout out one of my friends. Her name is Lakin. I'm sure she's going to watch. For a while, she wore clip-in extensions every single day, and I was like... Yes, like full on. Like there was a time when women wore wigs every day. And there's something about it that if you are someone who is really good with your blow dryer, you are really good at doing your own hair, and you want to add something a little bit more to your everyday, or you want to add something a little bit more to your nighttime looks, clip-in hair extensions or volumizers like this are a really great option.
Right.
Because you know how to do your hair, you're going to go ahead and make nice clean sections, you're going to tease, clip it in, and now you have that fullness.
Right. And you have like that whole Hollywood look going on.
The Hollywood lift.
Yeah.
I know.
And you just have all that Baba Boom hair.
And
when it comes to styling, can we talk a little bit about, so, if you're styling your regular hair versus applying a clip-in, is it the same type of process? Like, can you crank up your iron just as much? Is the styling process just the same? what do you recommend?
So I would recommend when I'm going to actually try while I answer this question to put in that one piece and make it look real, like in 10 minutes, like no, 5 minutes.
Do it.
The challenge is real. Okay, so when you're styling your extensions, you want to make sure you're using some sort of heat protectant. So I have some of my favorite products from Kenra Platinum here. So I actually like to use the hot spray. So this is a really good heat protectant and it gives you some hold. It's really shiny. Let's see if I can get the light right. There we go. Perfect. Right there. Now, that's something to use as well. You also want to use something like an oil. So we have the Revitalize oil. We have the Young Again oil from Kevin Murphy. These are two really great
types
oils.
Of hair oils that give some shine to the hair.
Right, some shine, because after a while, especially if you're blonde and you're watching and you're going to get yourself some clip-in hair extensions, blonde hair extensions, because they're processed a lot more, typically tend to look a little bit drier after time.
Okay.
So you want to think about that. And then you also want to use lighter hairsprays. So I'm using like a working spray. This is a softer hairspray I can build into the hair.
So look for something that says like flexible or working.
A flexible hold hairspray would be fantastic. If you use something that's really strong, you're going to run into the issue of having to, wash your extensions much more often. So let me actually.
So looking for a hairspray that's brushable is probably a good idea. So you can brush out the product instead of always having to constantly wash after everywhere, right?
Exactly. Now, I'm going to show you something too with these clip-ins. So for this one piece. So say Cheryl just wants to have the option of like, you know what? I don't want to necessarily have fill-in hair. I want to keep the hair long, but I want to give myself a really cool long braid. So she'll take something like that volumizer piece and let me spin you a little bit so we can see. So we have a nice clean section back here. Amazing. Oh. And then what you'll do, like I showed you before, you'll do a little spray situation, not on her face this time. Good to go. And now we have this one piece. So this is the one piece again I was showing you. We're going to open up the clips.
Okay.
And we're going to apply. Is this scary?
I mean, there could be worse things in life happening, right? I'm getting clip-ins put in by David Lopez. I'm not going to complain.
I mean, you know what? You're too nice to me. You're too nice to me, Cheryl. Okay, so you just put the clip in and snap it shut. One more.
This is like the Chrissy Teigen special, I assume.
This is the Chrissy Teigen special, yeah. I actually have a picture of Chrissy had a tape in and we took one out and we took a really funny picture of me with a mustache of her extensions. So that was fun.
Well, there's enough hair there to give you a mustache.
There's
as well.
a lot of hair. I can give myself my dream in life is to have a really thick mustache. That hasn't happened yet. I'm 31 years old, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Now that we have gotten some length there.
Yeah, so I just made you have some really long hair. So it's not necessarily going to match.
Right.
So let's turn you around, so not necessarily, well, the ends match, which is nice. And if we curl this, I could get this to match. But really what I want to show is that if you have a piece like this, and then you're like, you know what? I just want to have a long braid one day.
Yeah.
Well, now I can take this, and I'll do a quick braid. And now, Cheryl, you can have your braid dreams come true. All your braid fantasies are here.
And I think even what you were saying, like, because it's straight right now, obviously that didn't look as similar to the rest of my hair.
Right.
But then I think it's about the way that you style it, like,
100%.
giving it some waves so that the hair all looks more mixed in together and so that it all blends more seamlessly. I think that's really important when you're styling it, and to make sure that you're really, running your fingers through your hair so that it's all blended well together.
Right. And the other thing is, too, is when you get your clip-in extensions, the way they come, it's not going to match your hair. You have to go to a stylist, or there's some great YouTube tutorials out there as well about how to blend your extensions. You want to blend those face framing layers. You really want to blend in your layers into the extensions, because I never just put in hair. Look at this moment.
Oh, hey.
Guys, look at this braid.
So I feel like I'm ready for like a summer night
ready
out.
For something. I don't know if she's ready or she's ready to go somewhere. So yeah, so that's why sometimes you can use clip-in extensions for many different things, not necessarily just for volume, just for length. You can use it to style. You can create different. It's great for weddings. If you're getting married soon.
I was just gonna say, I think weddings are a great time to really incorporate this, whether you're the bride or a bridesmaid or even just a guest, because it can add so much fullness to any of your looks.
Fullness is right. And also the style will last longer, because extensions, if you've worn them and you're watching and with extensions, when you curl them, they stay. Yeah. Like, it's going to stay.
It'll really last the night.
Right, exactly. So I want to show you, too, like a quick little technique when you're styling your extensions. My favorite thing to do right now, let's see, what should we do it on? Should we do it on your hair, the blonde hair? Let's hold up this situation here. So look at this. So look, if you're blonde and you're watching, you can get hair color that's rooted.
Okay.
So you see how this is nicely rooted so it looks like your hair's growing out?
Right.
You can actually, this is just one of many, many shades. Again, this is from Glam Seamless. These are the semi-permanent extensions that you can get. Also in clip-ins as well. Let's pull up a clip-in here. There's so much hair everywhere, you guys. Now, a lot of the hair is sourced from India, and that's where the best hair is coming from, too. So we have to really know that. So, quick little side note, not a side note, it's about this. The hair is actually sourced at temples in India. So what they do, the girls go and they grow their hair their entire life. They go to the temple and they put their hair in a ponytail and they get cut off. And then that hair stays, that's why the hair is more expensive coming from India, because the hair is basically staying in the ponytail and all the cuticles are staying the same way.
Gotcha.
That's where the word Remy comes from,
So
and
it's
the
not
virgin.
mixed.
Or you might hear cuticle hair.
Right.
That's something like that. It's not mixed with other fibers as well.
So what is your technique here?
So we're seeing this a lot. So as opposed to like curling your hair, what I like to do is if you're going to put into your hair, you'll do an S-wave pattern. So you'll take your section of hair. Can we see that? Perfect. Turn it towards me a little bit. Amazing. And you'll start here, and you'll just go down, and you'll go over and under and over.
This is that very cool, like, Hollywood bend.
Yeah, it's the Hollywood bend.
Where it's like, I woke up like this.
Well, sometimes literally, woke up like this. So you just get that really effortless wave, and that's what you want to do. So it's like, just in case you're seeing, watching, see that nice little S-wave pattern, which I really love.
So now you know everything there is to know about buying extensions, putting in extensions, and caring for them. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and we will try to get to them next time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, I'm at David Lopez Hair on Instagram, and thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.